I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. Briarwood can now add fitness destination to its roster, and no, I'm not talking about mall walking. A new Planet Fitness with state-of-the-art equipment opened right inside the shopping center. Check it out.
Today we have our grand opening. I'm super stoked about it, honestly. We've been open for a little bit, but today has a lot of fun publicity things and a lot of fun giveaways, so I'm excited to see members come in and see what it's all about.
Our location specifically is one of only a handful in the country that has the equipment that we have. We have a lot of hammer strength equipment, a lot of plate loaded equipment that you really don't see at other Planet Fitnesses. So this is a real unique opportunity that you just really don't see anywhere else.
Planet Fitness as a whole though, I really like as a brand, as a company, they're pretty great. The whole aspect of the judgment-free zone, I definitely feel like this is a place where I can work out comfortably. I'm not worried about what other people think of me. I'm not worried about people judging me.
No matter what your age is, no matter what your experience level is, there's something in there for everybody that's user-friendly. We're also proud to have an amazing staff that's so helpful and courteous. A lot of locations have tanning, hydro massage beds and chairs, massage chairs. Our location has a red light therapy room, so it's really awesome. And just the affordability of our memberships and all you can get with it, it makes it a deal.
Just feeling a place where you belong. So where you actually are motivated to come work out because you know that there's friendly faces waiting for you on the other side of the desk.
For more on the Briarwood Mall location or to become a member, visit planetfitness.com. Stay tuned, and we'll be back with more in exactly 30 seconds. Ann Arbor has thrown canines a bone with a new pop-up dog park at a very popular locale. Learn about the park that has tails wagging next.
This is the ceremonial opening of the pop-up dog park at Veterans Memorial Field number 4.
It's really nice to have a dog park that's like literally steps away from where I live.
I think people are having more and more dogs and maybe less kids, so I think we need some more places for dogs to play.
If your dog is friendly, has rabies shots, I think it's always good to take them out and have fun activities for them to do so they're not cooped up in the house and on the leash. It's always fun to have their personalities come out when they're interacting with their fellow dog companions.
We are really excited about this opportunity. It is a chance to try something a little bit different, be a little bit more innovative in how we activate spaces during the off-season.
The pop-up dog park at Vets will remain open through April. For more, visit a2gov.org/dogparks. Community Action Network, or CAN's Resiliency Hub, offers food security and support to residents throughout the county. Learn more in this month's City Roundup.
Hi, I'm Derek Miller, Executive Director at Community Action Network. Community Action Network manages 7 community centers throughout Washtenaw County, and we focus on education, housing stabilization, and community building services. CAN also manages the Northside Community Center, located off of Taylor Street on the north end of town. Northside Community Center is also a City of Ann Arbor Parks and Recreation facility, and we also partner with a variety of city departments, including the Office of Sustainability and Innovations. Northside in particular is actually a resiliency hub. We've added solar that is fully offsetting the electrical usage of this site. But in addition to that, we also added batteries, and that batteries allows us to keep power on site in the event of a grid outage. And that is important, particularly at this location, as it serves as a food distribution location for City of Ann Arbor residents as well as county residents alike. If you're interested in learning more about Community Action Network, as well as the Northside Community Center, please feel free to visit canwashtenaw.org or feel free to email info@canwashtenaw.org. Thank you.
Historically, some careers have been dominated by males, but the time to bend those gender norms is now. Women can be scientists, CEOs, and first responders. The Ann Arbor Police and Fire Departments are here to ignite that passion to serve the community through the Blaze and Blue Camp. Joining me is Kasey, Special Assignment Officer with the AAPD, and Tracey McCoy, Firefighter with the AAFD. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
So explain what the camp is and how it sort of came about.
This will be its 4th year running. I believe it started with one of the other fellow female firefighters here. There was a camp at her department, and she kind of brought it over here. We kind of collabed to give them a full first responder experience.
So what's the AAPD aspect of it, Kasey?
Yep. So the 2 days that we get with them, they've already actually went with the firefighters. So it's very different for them. The firefighters do way cool stuff, and we just have, police stuff. So some of the stuff that they get to do with us, it's just an introduction to policing and what we do. We discuss on the first day distracted driving, drunk driving. They actually get to wear the drunk goggles that make you appear like you might be drunk, and then we put you through SFSTs.
What is that? What's an SSFT, if I got that right?
They're the standard field sobriety tests. So if you were drunk driving, we would put you through those tests on the road. And then if you fail them and fail a breathalyzer, then you get arrested. So it's kind of fun. The girls enjoyed it last year. We also do a station tour and show them our lockup and the processes when we bring in an arrestee and do a mugshot, all of that stuff.
So why have a camp dedicated to women? I can attest for myself that I'm in a field that is dominated by males. I work at a place where there's 2 females and the rest of the employees are males. So it is different to sort of get into a career where historically it was a male career, but now things are changing and we can do anything.
I think it's just important to have it because it's so nice to be able to see someone that you can relate to see someone that you see as your future grown-up self in a career that you might not see a lot of people like that. So I think, like for myself personally, Ann Arbor has a vast history of actually having women in the department. So it's been so nice to lean on that history, and the current girls that work there. And that's how we all kind of collab to make this happen.
So in your experience, Tracey, when did you want to become a firefighter? Did you see that representation when you were younger and thought, hey, I can do that. I want to do that?
I was kind of late to getting into this. Some people start the fire service as young as 18. I started when I was 26. I was always really interested in healthcare, and every avenue I explored, I liked the helping people, but it just didn't fit in the environment. And so I finally had actually one of my college roommates, her dad's a police officer. And so she actually suggested, why don't you just go either talk to the fire side or talk to the police side? And I scheduled an interview at Schoolcraft. And then from there, it kind of just went off. But I definitely failed in a lot of other career avenues before. And you just got to kind of keep working at it until you find what fits.
So how has it been being a female firefighter? Do you feel like you are an equal?
Definitely. I was definitely really nervous going in. I actually started as a recruit, which means I didn't even have my full training yet. And people were very welcoming. I had, a fellow female firefighter that also went through the recruit program like 6 months to a year prior to me. I leaned heavily on her, and everyone else, if you work hard, everyone really accepts you. So they kind of go more on work ethic than anything else.
Yeah, I've always felt like that both the police and fire department in Ann Arbor, I don't know other cities, departments, have always been very welcoming and friendly and nice to everyone, which is something I think that everybody, especially Kasey, with the police, because I think that sometimes the police, people feel like, oh, they're out to get me, blah, blah. But I think in Ann Arbor, we're taking a different stance where the police feel like a friendly face. Like if I saw you on the street, I'd talk to you.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And my career path kind of went same as Tracy's. Actually fell into it. I was not wanting to be a police officer. I never had that aspiration. I knew one lady who was a Michigan State Trooper when I was growing up, and that was about it. I obviously went the route of like a normal female-dominated career, teaching. I tried nutrition, I tried physical therapy, I tried English, and all of it was terrible. I had to jump through some hoops and face some struggles during college. And then one of my friends was like, have you looked at criminal justice? You don't have to take any math. And I was like, I guess I'll try a course. So I took the class and I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. So then it kind of went then to the police academy. I was a reserve in Frankenmuth first. So kind of got my feet wet and then got hired by them and then got a different job at Oakland University and then got hired here in Ann Arbor, and that's it.
You're like a special assignment officer, so you really are sort of like that friendly face out in the field, right? People know you.
Yep. So I worked road patrol for 10 years. I was a downtown officer, and then last summer I got into this spot, which is the community engagement officer. So I do all of the events for the department. And yes, I'm pretty much officer friendly.
We'll talk about that aspect of it too, because when you think about being a firefighter or being a police officer, you think about like, traffic stops and stuff like that. But there's so much more to it. There's different jobs that you can have that would fit maybe your personality better even.
Yeah, as far as police goes, obviously getting into police work, you think you're just gonna make arrests, do traffic stops, maybe be a detective, and that's it. But from what I've experienced here, there are just so many things that you can do. I mean, in my career here, I've been a bicycle officer, an evidence tech, field training officer. I'm a motorcycle officer. Currently, I'm trying to develop a crisis response team within the department. So there's just like tons of stuff, and it's really depends on your passion and what you want to do. And there's a lot of roads you can take instead of just going out there and arresting bad guys.
I love that it's not mundane, that you're like, okay, I did this, and then I'm going to go try this, and I'm going to do this. And it makes like that career up until, you get your retirement. It makes it exciting.
Yeah, for sure. And just getting into police work, you're not, I'm sitting behind the desk now, but before I was not sitting behind the desk. Every day was different. All of the people you interact with are different. So it really makes the day go quickly. And then you have stories, I guess, and you're making an impact.
Talk about like that ability to sort of find your niche in the fire department where you're not just sort of like stuck, like,
Definitely.
And I feel like the fire department's so different because you live with people too, like that aspect of it. Like,
Yeah,
it's a
definitely.
very different job.
Yeah, so kind of going off AAPD, like there's a ton of different roles in the fire department as well. Not only do we have a plethora of ranks where you really contribute to the department differently, from firefighter, which is the basic, what you come in as, and you can go to driver operator, lieutenant, as far as the captain, battalion chief, that's all on the suppression side. And they all offer such vast roles, even when all living together. We all do very different things when we're on the job. And then even outside of the general suppression roles, not people going on the calls or sleeping there, we have our fire marshals, fire inspectors, obviously our administration team, the chief, assistant chief. But we also have like a logistics officer. They kind of coordinate when things are broken or everything that needs to be repaired. And there's so many different fun roles. We have our training officer as well, EMS coordinator. Whatever like skills you can bring to the table, there's a job for you. Like, and everyone kind of fits the role really well.
the other thing I think is special about both departments is that you guys hold events, and obviously this Blaze and Blue Camp is one where you target teenage girls, but like the other stuff that you do where you see, I mean, the smiles on kids' faces when they get to hang out with the fire department and the police department and like be part, it's so cool. I just love that aspect of it, that you get like these kids and they're like looking up to you, and it feels special. Where like a lot of times when you explain your job to a kid, if it's not something that's cool like that, they're like, I don't know what you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure, as well as the police department, we do a lot of pub eds too, like going to the schools and seeing children, and just like listening to them talk to us or tell them, or them telling us more stories than we're telling them. And it's all about the flashing lights as well. So it's just fun to watch them enjoy it.
Honestly, it's exciting for everyone. If you go on like a ride
Yeah.
with the police department as a grown-up, you're like, this is awesome. This is fun.
Yeah, sometimes the parents ask more questions than the kids. So.
Oh yeah, there was we were at some event for the school and there was a fire truck there and I'm like, I'm getting in it. Like I want to get in it too. It's not just for the kids.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about the camp and like sort of honing in on these girls when they are young.
For both of them, it's also just general reaching out for people to become first responders. I think because it's not now your typical path, a lot of people think college first, and a lot of people in both careers do go to college first, but I think it's just exposing them to their opportunities, their different avenues, and just again, kind of just letting them letting them get to know us and show that we are them, just a little bit older versions. So
Yeah, and in some ways it's almost like it would be nice to skip the college debt and start your career path if you knew what you wanted to do. I mean, like I said, it's hard to figure out. That's like the hardest thing you have to figure out. But like when I think about like certain people that I know, or like a mother that paid for, like I just had a mom say to me, I paid $60,000 for my son to go to college, and then he became a chef. So like stuff like that where you're like, God, you should really think about how much money you spend on a college education, which college is great. I went to college, I got my degree, that's why I work here. But you don't always need to spend that money to find out what you're good at.
Yeah, I think my mom would probably say the same thing. Not need a 4-year degree to be a police officer. We actually, I think it's still 60 credits.
Okay, yeah.
Actually, I know a lot of the high school here do those credits while in high school.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you can start early.
Yeah, you do have to be 21 to apply, but in between that time, you can do all of your stuff and not spend a boatload on a bachelor's degree.
Yeah, I mean, just I think about like even when I graduated from college in the early aughts and how much more it is now. And I'm like, I'm going to push my daughter to do a trade.
We say the same thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. But now talk about this. I know, Kasey, that you have been part of this Blaze and Blue camp. This is the 4th year. So talk about the camp and like how it feels working with these teenagers and like showing them what's out there for them.
Yeah. So when it first started, we did a little bit of a younger age, when we found that the interaction and the interest was not exactly what we had hoped for. So we moved the age up to 15 to 18 now. And I feel like with more mature females, they're kind of like on that path of what could I do for my career? So they're much more involved, things like that. And last year, I think, was our best year yet as far as the police side. Everybody seemed to have a great time. It's fun because the first day that they're probably with the fire department, they are all strangers. So by the end of the camp, on our second day, which is the camp's 4th day, they're like, "Hey, what's your phone number? We're gonna have to get together." So it's neat to see that too.
Yeah, it is cool. They're like building bonds with each other to move forward in their future. I mean, at that age, it is a really hard time. You are changing as a person physically, and mentally, and you're trying to figure out what's next for you. And having something like this seems like it would be a great opportunity to just, even if it's not going to be your career path, just to figure out things that you like and things that you're good at. And Tracy, have you done the camp before? Have you been a part of the camp before?
Yeah, so this I've worked it twice before, and this will be my first year helping actually plan it. But I also agree. I think last year was our best year. I also agree the changing of the age kind of helped as well. But yeah, we're just trying to collaborate more and always listening to that feedback on like the different stations we do. But we use our Wheeler Center, which has our training cans. So we do fire attack there. We put some like straw on fire, keep them a safe distance, but show them how to use the hoses. We get to do some rappelling, some rides in the bucket on our tower truck. We do a little bit of CPR and first aid because all firefighters are at least EMTs as well, which a lot of people sometimes don't know. And yeah, and we also do station tours and just kind of show them a little bit of a day in the life.
I'm curious. I'm not sure what the police training is, but I know that fire training is very physical. Is that something that, like, do you work up to that physicality? Did you feel like overwhelmed at all at the beginning of it, or did you feel like it was a process where you were able to build up?
So during the fire academy, they actually incorporate PT or like physical fitness time, so or physical training. So usually I went through a course that was 9 weeks full time, like Monday through Friday, and every morning we'd have training. And then yeah, you have almost all fire departments follow a national fitness test that is a requirement to pass for everybody. So
What about
and you kind of build up to it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. They can't just throw you in. You can't be carrying a person on you. You know?
Yeah, you work up to it.
Yeah. Kasey, what about you?
Yep, same thing. We have like a standardized test when you're in the police academy. You take like a pre-test, and it's like sit-ups, push-ups, running, a vertical jump, and there might be something else that I'm not remembering. But so you take a pre-test, then when you're in the academy, you do all PT throughout the day, throughout the week, and at the end you have to pass that test in order to get your certification. But what's weird about policing, or at least in Ann Arbor, is once you are here, you do not have to take a physical test. So then it's really up to you to keep your fitness in check. The way we kind of put it is like you need to stay fit in order to save your life or somebody else's kind of thing, because clearly we get into fights, things like that. So you don't want to be unfit in that case.
Yeah, you got to get your runner's legs ready if you got to chase someone down. So this is free, right? There's no cost to participants.
Correct. Yeah, it's free. We kind of try and prioritize people from Ann Arbor, or women from Ann Arbor, but we'll, if there's open spots, we'll open up to everybody.
How many slots do you have?
15 was the max. We found that number is the best as far as splitting the girls up and having like enough people for training where it's engaging to them. If we go any bigger, I think it would be hard.
And so they have to go, registration is not open yet. It opens on the 17th of March, I believe.
Correct.
And then you're saying that it is open to Ann Arbor residents first?
Yep. Yeah, I believe last year we opened it up to Ann Arbor residents, did not fill all of the spots, and then we opened it up a little wider.
Well, I'm shocked. I would feel like this camp would fill up in moments.
Yeah. Well, that's what I expected, but I think the way that we promote it is all through social media. So if people aren't following our social stuff, then they don't know. But hopefully with the video, you can promote it other ways.
Believe me, my daughter's 8 right now, and I was like, if you guys are still doing this, she's doing this because I just want her. She's very feminine and she acts like she's not athletic, and then she is athletic. She's like, I don't want to do that, and then you're like watching her, you're like, you can do it. You can stop roadblocking yourself. Like, don't do that. So, like, I think for someone that is like quote unquote too girly, I think it would be a great situation to put someone in that would learn that they aren't just like someone that's going to wear a dress and stuff all the time and just want to do dance and do stuff like that. And you can be physical and be feminine at the same time.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen our like department photos on social media, but we have some women here that are like very feminine, very pretty, very in touch with that, but they're still the police. And then, so it's for everybody, really.
Yeah, Tracy, I'm sure you've dealt with it too, where like it's
Yeah.
not just for the tomboy. Tomboys aren't just firefighters
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I do fit that stereotype, but I do have coworkers that, they have really nice nails, very nice painted nails, beautiful hair, kind of like what you were saying, and they still rock it. So, there's, someone that represents everybody.
I just think it's really powerful to put yourself in a position that both of you guys are in and show that, you got the muscles and the strength and the mind to do it.
Sorry. For policing, I would say being a woman in policing is more of an advantage than if you're a male. Because, a stereotypical law enforcement officer is a male, and you think of power and like, I don't know, it's just different. But then you have a female that arrives on scene, and we have more care, compassion, like that mother instinct kind of thing. And I've seen people respond to me more positively than I see them respond to my male coworkers.
I could see that fully. If you pulled me over for a traffic stop, I might be less no matter what. If I get pulled over for a traffic stop, I'm like shaking in my boots for whatever reason. I'm like a teenager still.
So it doesn't change once you're a police.
Well, we're almost out of time. Can you guys just talk about why people should sign up, register early, and sign up for this camp? I wish I could sign up for it.
I think for us, while you get to do a lot of different fun things and fun stations, I just like hope we kind of teach you the girls to be like kind of heroes in whatever career path they pick. They're doing all these cool things, but I hope they're also learning to, trust in themselves, believe in themselves, and all the people there with them, and just kind of build more like courage and stuff like that. So whether they pick to be a first responder or not, they get to see a cool little insight of our lives. But in the long run, I hope they're just learning life skills.
Totally. Kasey?
Yeah, I'd say the same as Tracy. I think the camp kind of opens up their eyes as to what they're capable of. And like I said, when I was younger, I only saw female-dominated careers as my option. So I think this just gives a little more insight to what's possible for women.
Yeah, totally. I think if you're not aware of what's out there for you, you might never even think of what you could do. You might never think of being a police officer. Like it really wasn't on your radar at the beginning.
Not at all, but it fits very well now.
Yeah, you look great in the uniform too. Well, thank you both for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to see all that we have to offer. And remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification. Thanks for watching and tune in next time to FYI.